Haha,
Hey.
we got you. It worked. It worked.
Yeah. Cool, man. It's different than like Skype or anything else I've seen.
Yeah, it's different. It's better in a lot of ways. And this is what we do now.
Yeah.
In America, in Italy, this is what we do.
Yeah, my mom used it. I haven't used it, but my mom used it when we were quarantined, Like she used it she has these Fridays where she drinks gin tonics just once a week with her friends, Like even when we weren't quarantined, and then, when we were quarantined, she used Zoom, and I didn't though.
Okay, well.
Anyways, yeah.
Maybe get into gin and tonics, and then your attitude will change.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
all right.
The whole thing on its own. How is it? How is it now in Skio, in your part of the world?
It's kind of normal, I'd say. Like we went back to the normal quote unquote life, which is kind of messed up in a way because we went back to the bars and like drinking and all that, but like no live music,
No live music.
No, like they won't, all my shows got canceled, but at the same time, people are gathering, before the pandemic.
Right.
And so it doesn't really make sense, really. I mean, but that's from a musician's perspective. From a normal person perspective, which I am too, it's much better for sure. People are hanging out, and we are wearing masks and trying to keep distances, but for us Italians, it's a little bit more difficult to keep distances.
I can't even imagine how hard that is to to the Italian culture to have social distancing. I mean, that's the
It's way harder than other populations for sure, man. More than Germans, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
We're more used to touching each other and everything, and like kissing each other.
Kissing, yeah, rubbing your noses together and.
Exactly, with animals too. No, but that's an interesting topic for sure. Like, how like when you hug someone, like after a while, these endorphins start flowing and stuff. So that was really hard on people in general. I think, right?
Yeah, you get what's the oxytocin?
Oxytocin. All right. Sorry.
The thing that's the hugging drug, hugging drug. Yeah. So if you don't have any, then you start drinking. But
yeah, well, yeah, we drink a lot here in the north. But I haven't really drank. Like I drank when I was younger, but I think that was also a big thing. It might seem ridiculous, but here in the north, more than the south, like this thing where you couldn't go to the bar and have your usual drink, it was devastating for some people. So a lot of my friends got plastered during the quarantine.
Yeah. Well, we have to take care of our chemical balance during this kind of situation, right?
Yeah, that's what I did for sure, man. Because, I also know myself a little bit, and I'm I'm a drummer too. So, if I don't move even my body in general,
right.
More than others, I think I get really, I tend to get anxious or depressed, So I did take care of myself, and I, did, squats and planks, and started doing yoga again.
Nice.
And the other thing is that I was lucky, like it's that, you know, you've seen my apartment. I live in this place where there's all these big windows at the 9th floor, you know?
Yeah,
So I got some vitamin D2, which is, as you know, it's really important for the immune system, you know?
absolutely.
And so that was good. Also from a perspective, like when I go out, if this, you know, virus is out there, you know, for sure I'm getting stronger, and I'm lucky to have also the sun coming in, and you
Right.
know, so I really try to get myself stronger more than focus on the fact that all my shows got canceled and
Yeah.
stuff
So
like
all the shows getting canceled was like all over Europe, right? Like, and it's kind of situations where like nobody's playing any live gigs.
No,
But
man. What's that?
you can't just like stop playing music, period. Like you gotta play and interact with other musicians, and that's your lifestyle, right? That's like how you
Yeah.
maintain.
And it's also other people's lifestyle in a sense that, you know, people go to shows and to, you know, to enjoy themselves for at least an hour or something, you know, and
Yeah,
to get rid of the stress that they accumulated during the week. And
yeah,
all of a sudden they didn't have that, they couldn't, yeah, they didn't have that let out. No, the
outlet.
outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was hard. I was supposed to go to Australia with Idris Akamor and the Pyramids, which I'm playing with now,
Oh wow.
as you know. And
So
that
it's
got
supposed to,
canceled. What's
oh,
that?
it's supposed to happen now, like in the summer.
No, it was, well, yeah, in the summer, in August. It was supposed to happen in August.
Okay.
But about an hour ago, I talked to one of my famous friends here in Italy that
Yeah.
plays big, even bigger, you know, big gigs, bigger than mine too, like huge festivals all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the shows got canceled throughout June, but
Okay.
in July she's playing some festivals, and of course they're gonna have, you know, this social distancing, and less people are gonna go there, but they are having them in August. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but,
It's going to be amazing when it all opens up again. People are going to be like, it'll be like every show will be like a punk show or something, you know, people doing stage dive.
yeah, definitely, man. Can you imagine you go to a classical show in a theater and people are just stage diving to not even Stravinsky, fucking Mozart or something.
Yeah. Really, Mozart stage dives. Yeah. Really, really nice, you know, beautiful finesse, like brutal stage dives like they do in the Stravinsky shows.
Brutal stage dives. That's right, man. And what about there in the, I mean, you live out in the middle of the nowhere, but what about the US? Did they do any shows whatsoever? Like, as far as you know?
As far as I know, there's been no like live music. There's been a few things that, you know, if they're outside and people can be really far apart, you know, like 10 feet or more, then those are happening, but really not very much, right? Like right now, the restaurants are opening, and I think that bars are not open yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a really great brewery near here called the Mothership.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a good name, like Parliament.
Yeah. Parliament should play there. Parliament may have played there. It's got an amazing stage. Like you can't even fathom. This is like, you know, out in the desert, and it's just this beautiful, like professional stage.
Wow, man.
They're having bands come and play, and they're just streaming them on the internet. So, you know, every day or two, I see something from the Mothership on my Facebook feed. That's good. No, I just can't go there.
That's cool though, man. It's kind of sad in a way too, of course, but you know, that's cool. You know, music is not going to stop, and people need it even if they don't think so. I mean, It's true. Even David Bowie said that that's secondary, you know, like first of
Yeah.
all, you know, we started, you know, we gotta get the bananas from the trees and gather nuts and stuff, and then we play music. But
Yeah.
you know, it it's vital for sure, man. And science proves this. That's what I'm trying to get across to. Like
Yeah.
on Monday, tomorrow I'm gonna have a meeting with some leaders, I'd say, here in Skio, because
Okay.
they want to have us play, but at the same time, supposedly what the thing is that yes, we can play, but they can't serve drinks, which is insane in a way, because they are serving drinks at the bar, but they can't have live music.
Huh.
So it's like, okay, so there's a pandemic. You get the virus if your immune system is fucked up. And but yeah, you can go drink. You can lower your, immune system, but no music. No. But I mean, what's actually doing good, even if you don't understand music,
Right.
we're gonna love that. And so
Yeah. It sounds a little suspicious, because music is a necessary. You mentioned, there's scientific proof that music is necessary, and it was interesting because Stuart Copeland, the drummer Stuart Copeland,
of course, one of my heroes, man.
Yeah, he was on. He appeared on Meow Wolf, is a art venue in Santa Fe, which is about an hour away. And he came on and was participated in this fundraiser for Meow Wolf, and he mentioned that they found these bone flutes, these really ancient that are they're like 35,000 years or something.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, we've had music since before there was even farming. It's
that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
And more than you could get some the how do you say it? The suspicious part of myself was like, okay, this is the government that's doing this, no music, so you'll get even more sick. You get the COVID-19, everyone dies, and we win, And I don't think it's necessarily like that. I really think it's more simple than that. Like, the majority of people do not know this thing about music. They just don't know. Like, they haven't read it because I don't know why. So yeah, it might be a good thing to try to explain these things to people. That's what I'm gonna seriously say to the leaders tomorrow, because I mean, it's very important. It's not some nerdy thing, It's like, no, it's true, and science proves it,
Right.
So
it strengthens your immune system for sure. I think that I don't think I would be alive if there was not music in my life. Just it just helps you to psychologically, and if your psyche is healthy, then your physical self is stronger and capable of meeting whatever comes your way. And I don't know, not everybody needs it constantly, but I think that's good that you're meeting these leaders and being an advocate for the people who are keeping music alive and real and happening.
Yeah.
You can't live on recordings,
What's that?
You can't live on recordings, like recorded music.
No, not really. That's not and yeah, it's a social thing too. And, just like the fact that you're grooving to the same music, it kind of well, in the old days, what they say, they're pretty much sure about this, is that because of this, the aggressions, between alpha monkeys, like when they started playing, that it went down, so there was more peace, and you worked for a common goal.
Right.
So yeah, it's very important, I think. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this sort of makes it seem a bit of I mean, if I was really a conspiracy theorist, I would say, well, if you really want to stop people from meeting and making agreements about, you know, social things that the Uber lords want to be afraid of, you know,
Yeah.
that we come together because of things like music and, you know, in a broader sense, culture, you know, and entertainment, and you know, we meet in these places of, you know, like restaurants and bars and things. And that's a way to strengthen people's spirits, you know. Easy way to keep them apart. Don't have any meetings. Don't strengthen the spirit of the people. And the way to do that is keep them.
Yeah. I think it's not all conspiracy. I mean, there is a truth to that, you know. It's not the whole picture, of course, but I'm sure there's people that are like, no way, man. I mean, we've seen it throughout history, man, when people got together. Also with music, unless it's Norwegian death metal that uses tritones and dissonance, physically speaking, you get rid of a lot of stress and fear. And, you know, that's when they get really afraid, when people, you know, start communicating and interacting more from a place of, I know it sounds hippie, but, you know, love and and all that. So
well, now all this pent up, all this stuff gets kind of built up, and then, you know, then something like this situation with you know, the cops murdering people, black people in the streets, you know, it's like,
oh my god,
all this discussion is like bottled up like a compressor, you know, like a compressed gas, you know, and then you just, so we have to kind of, I guess on a grand scale, we need to like consider what's a healthy human being and what do we need. Well, besides virus, we need to be able to get together and talk and do music together.
You know, it's happening big time in Europe too, man. I've seen some, well, I'm in this group where they send me videos that they don't usually send, you know, they're usually show on TV and stuff like that, but it's in Paris especially, and London, it's gnarly, man. They're going for it. And, you know, it needed to happen, first of all. But second of all, you know, if there wasn't a whole lot of other problems, all this violence wouldn't erupt as much, you know. So it's like, I'm also happy it's happening, man. I'm also kind of glad because I know that, you know, through crisis and through pain, you know, there is a possibility of change. So, I wouldn't say that I'm happy that people are beating the shit out of each other, but I know that sometimes it's necessary almost, you know?
Yeah, that like revolutions and all that start not only because of, you know, conflict among the people, but also just the planets are in a certain position, and there's, you know, certain things are happening economically, and, you know, the climate change thing, and everybody's just like psychologically for you know, mass action. And sometimes you just got to sort of, you get swept up in it, you know, like you get pushed in by the.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, even, you know, like political leaders that are like, you know, there shouldn't be violence, or people in general saying like they shouldn't act like this or that. It's like, man, these people they fucked with them for so long that how can you expect them, especially because you didn't teach them anything in school on how to manage emotions, anger, fear and stuff. What do you expect them to do? Be like, peace and love, Black Lives Matter. It's like, no, man. Of course they're gonna destroy everything. Plus they're poor, in America especially. You know, a lot of people are poor, and you break your leg and you can't even go to the fucking hospital. It's, you know, so it should be a clear sign, you know, of like
Yeah.
we should change something.
Oh, a lot of things. Yeah. Yeah. This could be with the, they call it a black swan, it's just the thing that starts the whole shit just tumbling, and there's enough people that are angry about the erosion of their rights here that it's starting these huge riots. And the solution of our federal government, Trump in particular, is like, well, let's send in the troops, let's just squash the rebellion. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, these are American people, but they're being
You can't
putty.
even talk to someone like that, man. Like you can't even really make him understand him understand, because he was hypnotized by a whole system that it's like trying to explain to someone that never saw the statistics about climate change, that that we should be doing something. It's like he doesn't know certain things. And also yeah, he definitely, I don't know how to say it, but like he just, or not only him, but people that think like that, they really, like, they're not the same as us, man. I'm sorry to say, but it's like they're really different with like the parts of the brain that they also use. And that's where the reptilian thing came about, right? Like they're more like reptilian brain, like I eat you, like you either eat me or I eat you. Like there's no win-win. They don't understand the win-win dynamics.
So
Like that we're all connected.
Right. So it's kind of like it's us or them, or it's me or you, but we can't be both successful.
Yeah. Which is historically not true. Like we were successful, and we fucking, like, we are here because we collaborated, we found new ways of,
Cooperation is always a better idea, I think, than mutual annihilation.
Definitely, man. The flute player that I played with on tour with Idris Sakamora and the Pyramids, her name is Margot Simmons, and she's Native American.
Oh yeah?
I don't know if you can say, yeah. I hope I didn't say anything. I think they get offended. Some of them get offended if you say Native American or whatever. She's just, she's from the, her ancestors were from America, not from Spain or Italy. They're from there. Right. And we talked a lot about this, and she said, well, she prayed before every concert and everything, and she'd connect with the big spirit. And so we talked about leadership too, and like in the tribes, back then, but throughout the world, like, well, first of all, it wasn't the leader choosing to be the leader, but it was the people electing him, but also, like, they chose him because they knew that he was wise and good enough to take care of others too, Right. And they also knew that we are all connected, on a subtle level. We're totally connected. And again, like, science proves this. That's the main thing that boggles me. Like, we know this for a fact, like, how can you still act like there's nothing, that this doesn't exist? And what do you say?
If we know this on a sort of a fundamental level, but we behave differently, then it means that we're acting from some conflict inside. That, I think, like there's some like value system that's set really early in life with people who are very selfish and very, blind to this reality of the connectedness of all things. And I think they're able to rise to power because of the same power that caused their brokenness, their wounds or whatever, are part of that same power structure, which just goes, I'm going to get what I want, and if I don't get what I want, I'm going to squash you, And we can make, we can, like, we like to joke about Borat, and Borat's making that joke all the time, like, I'll crush him, It's cool. Funny when you look at him doing it, but that's actually what these terrible people in the government they really mean it. Like, we'll crush the rebellion. And it's like, take a fucking pill. Like, that's not what's happening. There's injustice. So I don't know. I think culturally, we could put pressure on that. As a musician, you can put the pressure on that constantly, because it needs that constant back pressure to keep it happening.
To condition also the condition the minds of others in a positive way, man. Like, because it's through repetition, that people learn, even us. So I really feel more and more that I like this gift that I was given, playing music and being able to do it as a living, like just like Mark Rebo did it. He's so ahead, even with this, Yeah. He just did an album called, a couple of years ago, I think, called, they're just rebellion songs.
Yeah, you played the one you did with Tom Waits for me.
Pagliaccia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, protest songs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And, and even though I'm not Mark Rebo and I don't have as many, fans and everything, it doesn't matter. I really feel like I should do it more and more, which could be, even if I play instrumental music, it could be, writing a title that's meaningful in that way, And and just, try to keep strong, man.
Just keep inspiring, by doing what you do.
Yeah, definitely. And but how is it there in the desert, like with all these riots? Like, how far away were the riots from you? Like,
well, there was as far as I know, there was no rioting in New Mexico at all. There was definitely protests. There was stuff happening in the street. There's murals. People are painting murals. There's a lot of art happening here. So
they are doing it though. Okay.
Yeah. But it's peaceful protests here. But in Nadine's old neighborhood in Chicago, there's like, police cars on fire and people crashing into shop windows and people shooting in the street. It's fucking serious. Yeah. I mean, it's like terrifying. And it's terrible to hear about that. I mean, for her to hear about that situation in her home while we're here is difficult.
Even over there.
Yeah. Santa Cruz has been pretty chill. There's been peaceful protests. The police are, working with people, but there isn't a lot of Black people there. It's mostly been, in communities that are heavily African American, heavily policed, where you see this rioting happening.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, I'm glad that I'm in a smaller town, near the mountains. Yeah. And I'm not in Rome or Berlin anymore, because I don't know. I really don't know what's gonna happen. It could get bigger too. It could get bigger. Like, people just get fucking sick. Sick about all this deal. And it seems like in these places, you're a little bit more safe, I guess.
Yeah.
And also, I'm glad that, you know, not being a racist and not being, you know, close-minded throughout the years, I've made friends, even in my own neighborhood. They're
Yeah.
black and, you know,
Yeah.
it's full of Arab here too, you know. And we always say hi to each other, you know,
Yeah.
we even say jokes to each other and like, you know, just, hey, you know. So I feel safe in that way because, you know, being white, I mean, if you really want, if you want to say the truth, you know, there's more black people than white people in the world. Like,
Yeah.
it could go the other way all of a sudden, you know, like, you know, having racist cases against white people, which are happening already, you know.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about it here, but I don't know.
I noticed that there was a lot of racial, what am I going to say? There was a lot of non-white people in Skio. It seemed like there was a lot more black and brown people in Skio than anywhere else I was in Italy.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's pretty racially not very tense there. Would you say that's true?
I totally, definitely. And most of those come from Morocco and Africa. And the reason why they come up here to the north is because there's more jobs, you know, more money in general.
Yeah.
Go to Naples, coming from Africa, you know, it's like, I wouldn't say that it's like Africa, because it's not, of course, but, you know, it's not that much different, you know. Here you have a chance to, you know, get a job. And the cool thing about the North is that, like, since the 80s, the blacks and they, like, if you came here from Africa, there was no problem, but you have to work. Like, you couldn't just hang around in the streets, you know, but that's not happening in the South. In the South, they're just coming in and not doing anything, getting money from the state, not doing shit. Also because of fear of white owners, you know, or white entrepreneurs or something, being afraid of having, or just being ignorant, you know, thinking that every African is a savage, which is not true.
Right.
You know? And so, yeah, it's pretty chill here, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn on my light. Sorry.
No problem.
Can you see me pretty well?
I can see you very well. Yeah.
All right.
I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to visit you there in Skio, because we've been kind of off and on talking over the years, you know, and when I was there, I was like, I mean, I don't know, 10 or 12 years went by, maybe more, since I saw you in Oakland, you know, and and it was a really great experience to just come see you there and see you in this place I only imagined for so long, you know. Got to see your gig for many hours, and that was in Vicenza. I think we went to see you play a jazz gig, and
I can't remember, man.
Where was it? Yeah, it was like a jazz club, and we were in Vicenza. And
okay. Yeah.
Like, you were like a guest drummer or something. But I was really blown away, like how good the jazz was there. Like you guys were like, and it was such a rich scene. Like people were just really into it, you know. And
yeah, man. And you know, it's all because of the blacks. You know, the black Americans come in Italy, you know, throughout the. I mean, Duke Ellington used to come here in the 40s and 50s, or maybe not 40s. Yeah.
So there's a long history of jazz in that region, then.
It's huge. It's huge here in the North. That's also why I haven't moved to anywhere else since last year, is because I get to work here. and
Right.
you know, gigs all the time, and yeah, the culture, it's really big here for jazz. Sure.
And you would be touring normally all summer then, like going all over Europe?
I wouldn't say all summer, no, or not all over Europe. You know, a lot of it in Italy.
Okay.
But yeah, in the summer, of course, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, I just remember in the summer in Finland, there's like so much of everything, but just music festivals like nonstop, you know, one after
Yeah,
another, you know. And,
yeah, yeah. I mean, here in Italy too, there's huge festivals that you might not get to know about, you know, in America, but they're really, really big, man. Like
I bet.
big, big artists, and of course, you know, they come here, and it's like all of a sudden, like if the week before you were eating, you know, at McDonald's or something, or staying at an 8 motel or something, you know. Well, not for bigger artists, but, you know, for smaller artists, you know, you come on tour here, and all of a sudden it's like great food and,
Yeah.
you know, good. So it's good. It's just, I don't know. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. Italy's a strange place for sure about this, because we have so much culture and everything. But at the same time, like, well, in Germany, for example, I think musicians are more respected, for sure. In fact, when the lockdown happened, they gave them, because they're a richer country in anyways, but when the lockdown happened, you know, they gave them money right away. Like the day after, with their mask, they went to get, you know, their paycheck or whatever from the state.
Right. I've heard about that. Yeah. Several people.
I still have to get it.
Oh, really? So you're still waiting for some state money then?
Yeah. Yeah.
You haven't received anything?
No, haven't. No. Haven't seen anything yet. And I was fortunate because I went on tour with Idris Sekamor, you know, for a long time. So I had some saved up, but, you know, I'm not fucking Les Claypool or anything, you know, like I have to, you know, I have to work, I have to play. Even if I didn't care about playing, I do have to play, you know, to make money. So
yeah. That's what we're saying. It's like it's not only a necessity for human beings, but it's a necessity for musicians who are professional to have gigs. Otherwise, you don't eat.
Yeah,
that's a big.
What I wanted to tell you is that, well, just yesterday on Facebook, Joel Ali, you know, the bass player for Fugazi, which I played for a long time,
right,
during the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a guy that played with one of the greatest bands of all time, that opened up shows for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, that made 2 records with John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers as, you know, their Ataxia project. And, you know, now he's in lockdown, so he is giving some bass lessons right now
nice.
through FaceTime. So, you know, if you can put a link or something, but you should, like, I'll send you the contact so you can just write him. I think it's, the email is joe@discord.com. And you can just write him there and book a lesson. So, yeah. Like,
I would like, I like his playing a lot. Fugazi's amazing. And, you know, online teaching is actually what a lot of people are doing now, that it's possible, like over Zoom now, you know, you can teach an hour lesson and get paid through PayPal or Venmo or whatever you know, the other system you have. I mean, I don't know, if you start teaching drums, I might be interested in signing up for a lesson, because you're really, like, your style is really great. I don't know.
Sure, man.
Get from Shinola.
Sure, I should get into that. I should get into that more. I tried when I was quarantined, you know. just with my students, you know, I try to get them to do it through Skype or something, or Zoom or something. But they, you know, Italy, it's different. I think you guys are more advanced in these kind of things, and you know the value of it too. You know, like I know drummers like, I don't know, like Stanton Moore or other drummers, you know, that are doing it. They've been doing it for a long time. You know.
Yeah.
It does work. I mean, it's not the same thing. I mean, of course, but it does work. You know.
It's a stopgap, like we call it a stopgap. You know, it's like you need to do something. So I set up a website for Nadine so she could teach yoga online, and so she's teaching like I think 3 classes a week now, and
Wow.
And doing a meditation class and a dance class, like a free dance thing. It's all from right here in the airship, you know, and it's astonishing that, you know, it's like, wow, we can do this. Like we're out in the middle of teaching lessons. So.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, this quarantine definitely helped to understand also, you know, the power of technology, of course, you know.
Yeah.
And also, like, I don't know about you, but I really rethought about a lot of things that I thought were right, you know. Yeah, kind of like clean up my hardware, you know, my internal hardware a little bit, like. And so it wasn't all bad for me, at least. It was, I could actually also stay at home instead of being in the middle of crowds all the time, you know, screaming people or like people asking me questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You mentioned, or kind of early in this whole quarantine thing, about just taking the time to clean up your hardware, like you said. Take meditate, whatever. It's like take advantage of the downtime, because it's not always going to be like this. I hope.
No, I think there's a lot of fuckers that kind of want that, you know. And I don't think it's a conspiracy thing. It's very, very practical. I mean, if you think about it, it's like, it's perfect, you know? And that's something that kind of got me kind of pissed off too. Like, now they know how easy it is to get you, you know, to lock you in. Like,
yeah.
And now they know how easy it is. And I don't know about there, but like, here, the majority of people that died were over 75. Yeah. The majority, I'm saying like the 97.8%, you know, like they were older and stuff. So it's not as bad as people think, this virus, you know, unless you're, you know, you don't sleep and, you know, you're always inside of a room and you eat shit food, you know, of course. But if you take care of yourself just a little bit, I think it's, well, I don't know about you, but I had friends that had it, that got it.
Yeah. No,
and
my
that
cousin.
recovered.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know a couple of people who've had it, and they recovered pretty fast. You know, it was like 2 weeks of really terrible flu, and then they're okay now. You know. But what we learned is that, you know, fear is like a really powerful weapon. And I mean, that's just what it is. Like, we get the whole entire earth to be locked in their house because it's just fear of death, fear of everything, you know. And,
yeah, it's the same old game, man. They've been doing it since centuries. I mean, priests started doing this, and then, you know, the politicians learned from them, and, you know, like the Nazis, of course, you know, used that a lot through propaganda and stuff like that. But it's at the same time, like, we know this, but if you talk, like, if I talk to I don't have a grandma anymore, but if I talk to her, she wouldn't know, or even my aunts. But it's not because they're older, you know. Like, if you talk to a lot of people, you know, they don't know this really. They don't know this mechanism, you know.
I just was reminded, we were talking about Stuart Copeland earlier, and one of my favorite Police songs goes, poets, priests, and politicians have words to thank for their positions, words that scream your submissions, because no one's jamming their transmissions.
They're so cool, man. Yeah. I love these guys. I really do. I'm gonna turn on my light.
Yeah.
I can't really. Yeah, man. The Police. Speaking of police. Speaking about police, yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know about you, but I've been just really trying to find solutions more than ever. And it almost seems like it's been a blessing. Like I woke up too. Like if before, you know, it was, you know, it was a matter of, like I've always had thoughts of really trying to change things, you know? Like I thought about even going into politics of some sort, like for musicians at least, like to represent musicians, you know? Because I was just sick of, you know, different issues and just different dynamics that I did not want to see anymore, you know, because I lived it on my own skin. So I was like, okay, I'm the right person to talk about it. You know, I lived it on myself. So
yeah, I think it's a great.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, you were.
But like, you know, if before it was just a thought, now I'm just like, oh no, I have to do something, you know. I really have to. And I know that I'm not the only one. These kind of hits, you know, like this, which is connected to pain too. It's not like I really enjoyed staying quarantined or anything. I mean, I did enjoy myself because I found ways to enjoy myself, you know, in a stressful life, you know, the stressful life of a musician. But, you know, I'd much rather be out there. But this pain also kind of woke me up and be like, okay, what's important now? Like, what do I really have to do for me and for others? You know? Yeah. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Well, tomorrow I'm going to start doing it and be like, really tell these guys, okay, this is what's going on, you know?
I think it's a good idea. You know, it's unfortunate that the music industry kind of really suffered a lot because of the way that music is distributed. It gained a lot also, you know, because you can make a recording and then distribute it to the entire earth like the next day, right? So yeah, but in terms of like a class of working people who, you know, your education as a musician takes, I don't know, 20 years or something, and then you put all this effort and time and you buy the equipment and you do the gigs and you have to do so much stuff, and there's really no guarantee that you're going to make a decent living doing that. So it really does require advocate help on so many levels.
Yeah. Well, as far as succeeding goes, I think there are also ways, like proven ways, you know, to succeed also. Like, I think that really helped me a lot, to tell you the truth. Like really simple things, like, you know, like instead of writing emails all the time, start calling the guys, you know, so enhance the ability to find concerts, or like, if you don't feel good about how you play, fucking study, you know, or, also, which is an oldie but goodie, you know, just really trying to focus on the positive aspects of being a musician more than the negative aspects.
Yeah, that's good.
And like, instead of thinking, you know, I'm doing this for the success or something, you know, it's more like I'm doing this for the people, you know, because the world needs it. Because I know as a fact, you know, as a proven fact, that it helps people. And if I want to live in a better world, you know, I have to do some, you know, through music. And Yeah, it's not easy though, even for bigger guys. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, even thinking about Joe Lally having to give bass lessons, because I know for a fact that he's not the guy that wants to give bass lessons online, especially. You know, he's
Right.
a old hardcore guy that, you know, goes to fucking dinner with, you know, I don't know, the Matt Kurt Cobain and, you know, all these people. It's, you know, he doesn't want to do that, but he kind of has to right now. So, in a weird way, it also made me more comfortable about my situation too. It's like, of course, you know, um, who I'm trying to think of a name, like John Frusciante's not worrying about this too much from a money perspective, but a lot of musicians are, man, right now, and it's such a big loss, you know, for the entire community, you know, not having those guys giving their talents, you know, spreading their talent around. So, like,
definitely those people present in society putting out that, you know, their talent, their skill or whatever, because they're helping music enter the world. You know, I think music is not in this world, not in the human world. It's like above us somehow, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
It takes musicians to bring it in to the human community.
Exactly, and just as much as a doctor. I mean, in fact, still right now, some, you know, the doctors are musicians, man. I mean, like here in the south of Italy, you know, well, they do it now because it's in fashion to do it, but, you know, tarantella, we talked about this before, you know. They play the drums because it's like, you know, if you have anxiety, it's like you get stung from a tarantula, you know. So you play the drum and you dance until, you know, the anxiety goes away. That's one of the, which works much better than years of, you know, psychoanalysis or, you know, taking drugs, of course.
Definitely.
Well, medicines. Pot helps, I guess, but or mushrooms or something. I don't know.
That's I mean, that's on the level of coffee nowadays, I think. Dancing is my preferred therapy over just anything else, you know, and that requires music.
Yeah.
So the way to come back to health as a civilization might be to acknowledge this, you know, dancing and music are crucial to our health and well-being.
Yeah.
And
what do you think, as a more like computer guy, like, I mean, you're much else also. You're a musician, of course, and you listen to music and you do a bunch of other stuff. But like, coming from a technological aspect, what could you do, or how could technology help in this, you think? Like, have you thought about it, or?
Well, one of the things that I believe the technology is doing for me is helping me do these interviews with you and other friends, you know. That's one use. I thought, well, okay, obviously I need to say something. I need to keep dialogue happening. So the technology is really helping with that. It's helping people come together when they can't be in the same space, we can at least see each other's face and we can talk. And I think, and then the other thing is, like, I'm working on this project of living in this Earthship and building automated systems to make it work as a solution for the climate crisis. One solution for the climate crisis is that, you know, this house only uses about a tiny bit of fossil fuel. Basically a tank of propane for over a year, and everything else. Yeah, everything else is solar, and the water comes from the sky.
Wow.
Yeah, the heat, it's heated and cooled by solar, so there's no wires coming from anywhere else. And I think that is a technology situation. It's low tech, but it's
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I can't
Well,
wait for you to visit, and it'd be my a great honor to have you as a guest here and take you to the mothership
oh my God, man. I'd be
and you know,
so happy to come there, man. And I mean, Idris Sycamore and the pyramids are from San Francisco, so it's not that far away. I mean, it's doable, you know. And so I don't know, maybe we'll come there and play. Um, what I know is that I was supposed to go both to Australia and also do a tour in October,
mhm,
European tour in October, like almost,
right,
well, a month and a half, I think. And that's not happening. But
right,
you know, we're programming things for the summer of 2021.
okay. Well,
And
wherever you come in the States, I'll make sure to go there and hang out with
yeah,
you and watch you play because it'd be
yeah, but no, I want to see that place. I don't
yeah,
like as soon as I'm off. Like if I come to America for a tour or something, I want to come there for sure, man. I'm all about that. That's one of my dreams since I was little, man. You
yeah,
know, to have seriously, and also because I grew up from hippie parents, you know, and
yeah,
in the 80s we lived in this commune for a while where they had those kind of things. The first, well, they had solar panels where, you know, even my parents that were pretty open-minded were like, what is this, you know?
uh,
And so, yeah, that kind of stuck in my mind because I recognized the value of it, you know? It
yeah.
totally makes sense. And um, yeah,
It makes
but
sense
that's
to
the,
me, and you know, I like to share about this place. I think it's part of the reason I'm here is that I just want to, you know, share what I'm learning. Um, so if you make it here, if you don't, you know, I'm happy to take you on a tour of the place and show you all the ins and
man,
outs.
yes. Yes, I totally want to learn that. And in exchange, I'll teach you some drums, man, or
Nice,
some different, yeah, different scales, for sure.
sweet.
Oh,
Well, we're coming to the end of our hour, so I want to let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Though I want to hang out with you a lot, and I want to come back
yeah,
to it eventually.
yeah. Like, I mean, like through the computer or?
However,
Oh, okay.
no,
Yeah, we
I
should
mean,
do this. Well, even private too sometimes, but
yeah,
I'm very glad that I did this thing because it's, you know, coming back to the thing we're talking about earlier. I mean, we might not be able to see each other in person, but still we are sharing information and we're going to share this, you know, through the media or through social media. And that's very important. I didn't think so until not too long ago because I grew up in, you know, Oregon, you know, punk houses where they didn't even have TV, you know.
oh yeah,
So, but man, there's so much value that can give you so much value, technology. Sure, you know.
yeah. Well, that's what it's there for. I think letting us share, even though we can't be in the same space at the same time.
All right. Well, my friend,
My friend,
we, my friend, we will see each other soon, you know? And yeah, just keep
sooner than
safe.
yeah.
And
Stay safe. Keep the faith. Keep me in the loop. Tell me what's happening. I'll keep tuning in.
yeah, I'll keep you updated because, you know, it might be a helpful thing for American musicians too, to know how the situation is over here. Because, you
Definitely.
know, until an hour ago, I thought that I was the only one. Well, I thought that everyone's shows were canceled throughout the summer, and that's not
Mm,
true though. In July, they are gonna start playing again, and so
yeah,
yeah, let's keep
yeah.
in touch.
Things are happening. Things are happening. You should check out this recent Dave Chappelle. You know Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, he just did something that was really touching. definitely check it out. I think it's on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
YouTube? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
All right.
Okay.
Pagliaccia, thank you for your interview. I'm going to post this soon. Any other information you want to say about like what you're doing? Any web addresses? Send me those, and I'll put them on the notes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess you can go to my website to see, also what who I am as a musician. And yeah, it's gioelepagliaccia.com, just my name.com. And yeah, and then I'll send you some other stuff, man, so you can put it on the description.
Awesome.
All right. Ciao.
Ciao for now.
Ciao. Say hi to Nadine. Ciao,
Absolutely.
ciao.
See you soon.